Yo, what is up, homies? Back with another video. Two things. I got a haircut. That's pretty cool. And I'm wearing the same shirt as I did in the previous video, but we don't need to think about that for too much longer. Today in this video, I'm gonna be running you guys through what I do before I start my session. So what my warm-up is. Over the years, I've had many titles, many names, but one of those names that has been really consistent, I guess for the past like 11-ish years, has been scooter rider or athlete. And as a result of that, I've kind of come to find the best thing that my body needs to warm up before starting a session in order to enhance the quality of my session. So let's go ahead and get into it. All right, first things first is to put my helmet and my knee pads on. It might seem silly for me to like pad up when I'm just planning to warm up. When I'm warming up, I'm just doing like small, easy tricks. But I found that this is the time when I'm like most susceptible to making silly little mistakes. I don't want to be making mistakes without wearing pads and then causing myself to get injured over like something stupid like a bar spin or a tail whip. It's just not worth it to me, so that's why the knee pads are going on. Everybody always asks me what type of knee pads I ride, and to be honest with you, I don't entirely know this brand. I don't think it's like a legit brand. It might just be like from the manufacturer, but I just basically found some pads that looked like 187 killer knee pads and used them instead of my 187s because mine were worn out and I couldn't actually find the real brand's pads. Awesome. Knee pads are secured. Helmet is secured. Now, first thing I'm gonna be doing is literally just riding. Oh yeah, also need trusty mouth guard. I hate teeth injuries. I've thankfully never had any teeth knocked out, and I'm hoping to keep it that way with this thing. And even if I do get them knocked out, at least I'll be able to like save them in my mouth guard, so that'd be nice. So first things up, I'm just gonna go ahead and flow around the skate park. No tricks, no flips, not going incredibly high, just getting my legs warmed up, kind of like getting the blood flowing all throughout the bottom half of my body, and also getting my heart rate up. And finally, and most importantly, I think, getting my head into the right frame of mind it needs to be in order to have like a quality session. I feel so tight in my knees right now. Oh, jeez. Whoa. Did you see how I just bar spinned and then almost missed my hand? Or I did, I just didn't fall. Silly mistake. All right, I'm gonna utilize this half pipe. I know it's a spine, but I'm just gonna utilize the half pipe portion of this ramp to my advantage. Most of the times when I've been riding for like a week straight or, you know, even 3 days straight, my warm-ups will be a lot more short. But I've taken like, I think like 5 days or more than that off. And so my warm-up today will probably be a little bit more prolonged because I'm making up for a lot more time that I have missed out on. In forward. Front side. Not even going high. I can definitely feel how tight my knees are right now. So I'm happy, I'm just kind of taking my time right now. Dude, you know, one of the things that really frustrates me is how the younger generation in scootering lacks discipline in their riding. I see so many of you guys on Instagram and at competitions and in person or whatever that absolutely kill it. You guys are exceptionally talented on your scooter and you do tricks that I literally will never even consider doing. But because a lot of these guys in scootering don't think like an athlete and don't train physically like an athlete and don't warm up physically like an athlete, they can't get themselves out of this like super high level amateur riding that gets really good views on Instagram and move in and press into the pro level riding where you're recognized by bigger sponsors and where you get to compete at like a world-class level. And so my encouragement to you guys, if you're in that like category where you're absolutely just killing it on a scooter, but you've kind of plateaued, dude, I would just say evaluate what you want in scootering. And if what you want is becoming a pro, then man, prioritize your mental and your physical stamina and strength before you start riding. Like in this video we're talking about, warm up properly, man. All right, I've given myself one run through in the park, one little session on the half pipe. I'm gonna use this small halfie right here, do some 50s, a little bit more precision stuff, I guess you could say. Not really a trick, kind of just gets my mind thinking. Right, ooh, missed that one. Already feeling a lot better. Jumping. Ollie bar. All right, finished that portion of my warm up. Now I'm gonna move into something that's called dynamic stretching. All dynamic stretching means is that I'm stretching my muscles in a way that doesn't hold them in one position for a really long time, but instead it gets them to the point of stretching and then it brings it back down. So for example, starting with this first stretch that I like to do, and to be honest with you, a lot of the stretches that I do before I ride varies on occasion depending on how my body feels. But today, because I know my legs are super tight, I want to stretch out my hamstrings, my ankles, my calves, and also my hip flexors, which is this part right here. So first thing I'm gonna be doing, I'm not entirely sure what the stretch is called, but you kick your leg up like this and then you bring it back down. I put my hand up as a measuring point. That's what I'm kicking to. And you'll feel when you do the stretch, boom, right there is where you're engaging your hamstrings. And you're kind of like pulling them a little bit and then they come back down. And the reason why doing a dynamic stretch like this is good is because you don't want to overextend a cold muscle. So this is a good way of getting that muscle warm so that way it can be more flexible once you get into the skate park. So good, got that one completed. Next thing up, I want to engage inside of my leg right here. I think that might still be called your hamstring, but also my hip flexors and my calves, and I'll show you what I'm gonna do. This stretch is simple, literally just doing a squat. I'm gonna hold this position for like a second, and then when I come up, I go on my tippy toes. Another big thing that I've realized is really important to focus on warming up before I start riding is my ankles. And that's why I add little things in like the stand on my tippy toes type thing, and also stand on one leg the whole time while I do the swinging or kicking motion. This kind of helps stabilize my ankles and gets them a little bit more flexible for when I start riding, because that's super important when you're on your scooter. Next thing I'm gonna do, you gotta look at my shadow. I'm gonna do arm circles. Arms go like this, and I just go around really big circles, and then eventually they get down to a little bit of a tighter circle, and this just kind of like helps get your shoulders a little bit more used to being mobile, stretches them out, gets them warm, so that way you'll be ready to take over the world once you start your session. All right, next one up, moving back to my legs. I learned this one from soccer. It's kind of like a drill we used to do before we started practice. You bring your knee up to your chest, and you bring it out, and then you bring it down. Pretty simple. And this is just helping out your groin area, so that way you don't pull anything like that. And again, this whole time I want to stay on one foot, and this really challenges your ankles to hold your weight up, because when you're scootering, sometimes you gotta land with one foot, and you want to make sure that ankle is strong enough to hold your weight, so that way you don't end up with like a sprained ankle. That would suck. The last thing I want to do today is a simple box jump. This is just like something that is similar to what it feels like riding a scooter. And I wanna make sure I feel ready once I start my session. So that way I'm not like off my game when I try a new trick or when I even do something that I'm used to doing, you know? All right, I think I'm ready to go ride. First, I gotta tighten up my scooter. Since my clamp is so old, sometimes my bars just decide to exit the clamp. So it's kind of sketchy. I can kind of recognize the feeling now that I've ridden for this like clamp for so long. But I always have to be like careful of that because I don't want to like do a trick and then have my bars just like fly out of the clamp. How are you guys with straightening the bars? For the most part, I can get my bars straight like on the first go. I never have to like loosen my clamp again. But comment down below, how are you with straightening your bars? All right, awesome. Got the bars straightened out. They're no longer like coming out of my clamp, so I can start my session now. One thing too that I want to say before I just start getting a bunch of clips, even after I've done my warm up, a lot of times a couple things that are good for me to do before I start throwing like bigger tricks is one, to actually just fall. And that just means like for me, find a ramp that I like, that's smooth, that's not gonna like cut me with nails, and slide down it on my knees. This kind of just gives my my quads the ability to get used to like carrying my weight, so that way if I do actually fall, I don't like pull a muscle. And also in addition to that, I start with small tricks. I go literally up from my bar whips all the way to bride butters. I don't just go, you know, straight into the big tricks. I like to get small tricks out of the way first on big ramps or small ramps or any ramp before I start doing tricks that I want to learn or get better at. Oh my days. It's like 95 degrees Fahrenheit today. I literally can only get like 1, 2, maybe 3 lines in, like while I'm in the sun, direct sunlight, and before I have to just like stop and sit. I'm not gonna lie, one of the things I'm struggling with today is just like staying focused. I've been like so caught up recently in practical things in my life that I'm just having a hard time staying sharp and like focused in on one task while I'm doing it. My mind just goes elsewhere of all of the other things that like I want to accomplish or the things that I need to get done. And like even a lot of time, like recently I've found like in my time reading the Bible in the morning and stuff, it's not been very fruitful, just because I've been like so distracted with just like life, you know. Today was kind of a good reset and like a little bit of a refresh, because I've been beginning to notice this pattern like in my life over the past month, especially because I've been gone like every day. I've been beginning to notice this pattern, and then as a result today I really made an intentional effort to focus, and the Lord just reminded me of his love, and he reminded me of the confidence that I have in knowing that my home isn't here in this body on this earth. My home is in heaven with the Lord Jesus. And that's very comforting for me, and was an awesome kind of like reset for my mind mentally. I was able to focus in that moment. But now here I am at the skate park and I'm kind of having an issue again, just focusing. Like on one of those lines, I forgot one of the tricks that I was intending to do, and I switched it out with something else, just because I couldn't remember. And it's like, how could I not remember? Like this is what I do. This is what I'm doing right now. Like I just need to reset my mind and focus in on where the Lord has me right now. All right, regardless of all that, I'm gonna give a new trick a couple attempts here. Do back scooter flip, finger whip with the 360. Dawson said he'll give her a couple rips as well. I don't think I've ever done this trick before. I know the challenging part is just gonna be like keeping the deck from flying away, because I feel like, dude, after you do this and you try to whip it, it's just gonna go like out and away. I feel like that's gonna be the hard part, but figure it out as we go. Ah, I didn't even touch the deck. Kind of close, but not really. Do you think it's doable?
Dude, maybe. I don't know. I don't even understand how to 360.
It's the same idea as the regular one.
Yeah.
You throw, like, start a bri. They go faster when you start like a bri first. Dang it. Okay, it's not even coming around, but it's still kind of working.
You like, instead of like continued it with the finger whip, you like did it, but then pushed it to a downhill.
Oh, that'd honestly be cooler.
That would be sick.
It'd be easier too.
You think? Yeah, I think so too, actually.
Maybe I'll just try that.
Yeah, dude. Okay.
You know how to back scooter flip, that's not the issue. You're just psyching yourself out, I feel like. So after 2 attempts in, I'm switching the trick. Instead of doing finger, gonna try finger to heel. All right. Oh, dude.
Does it feel awesome?
It feels weird as crap. Ah, I missed my hand. Oh well, next one. Yeah, got the formation. Heck yeah, okay, I took my GoPro off for literally 2 attempts, and then I happened to land 360 back scoot, finger, but heel whip. So I'm gonna do it again to get the film on this GoPro. Just try to get it around. Oh gosh. I was so sketchy, but I did it. Holy moly. I went and like didn't get my hand back on my scooter until the very last second. Funny enough, I'm actually gonna be doing something called Conquer with Cody Camps here at Escondido Skate Park. Probably about a month by the time this video comes out on Labor Day weekend. If you guys wanna be a part of it and you're an intermediate to an advanced level rider, I highly encourage you to sign up. I'm designing this camp in like these 2 days at this skate park to be kind of like an intensive, super fast training course to kind of give you guys tools of how you can take your riding to the next level, not only on your scooter, but also off your scooter. Kind of like what I was talking about in this video, of thinking like an athlete and also thinking like a champion. Honestly, I think it will go super well. I do a lot of like camps with Woodward and like other organizations all throughout the summer, and a lot of times those are like just hanging out with kids, and like that's awesome. I think there's a place for that, but I also think there's a place for teaching kids how to ride in comps, teaching kids how to like just present themselves to sponsors and train, warm up, stretch, and also teaching kids how to learn new tricks. I think that it'll be a mutual learning experience. I think I'm gonna learn a lot of stuff too, and it'll overall just be like super fruitful. So definitely, if you guys want to sign up for that, the link will be in the description. Check it out. Oh, I'll teach you how to do a front side truck driver and then hit your GoPro on the bars. All right, I think I am pooped. I literally rode here probably longer than I have in like years. I'm pretty sure that it's time to get some new bars. I don't know. Everyone tells me that they're bent. and I know they're bent. Like, I can feel it when I ride. And today I may or may not have dropped them directly on the bars, so it might be time to get some new bars. Luckily, I have a new package from Lucky, and if you guys want to see an unboxing video, then drop a comment down below. Anyways, thank you guys so much for watching, and thank you so much for supporting me. I truly appreciate it. Just want to remind you that you are loved by Jesus and you have a purpose. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Deuces.